welcome to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel update for Thursday, the 10th of August, a day on which it is fully expected that the transfer of Carl Starfelt from Celtic to Celta Vigo will be confirmed. Information from Celta Vigo and Starfelt's agent is that medical tests have all been passed, final personal terms and contract details are all completed with a 4-year deal, and it is expected that the €5 million transfer of Starfelt to Celta Vigo will be announced in the next 24 hours. It is sad to see Starfelt going. However, primary reason for leaving Celtic appears to be more to be close to his partner Jacynta, the ex-Celtic women's player who signed in the summer for Sporting Lisbon in Portugal. And it is reported that it's a 4-hour drive from Celta Vigo to Sporting Lisbon, and so this appears to have been a primary reason for Starfelt leaving. And in addition, he is moving on at the age of 28 to the Spanish league, a bigger league than Scotland's, and so this will also help his career. And at 28, probably had one more big transfer deal within his career. So, just to confirm, 4-year deal, personal terms and medical tests all passed, and expected to be announced sometime today, Thursday, that Starfelt has moved on. The negotiations regarding Gustav Lagerbielke and Elfsborg transfer to Celtic appear to be ongoing. The indications are that the deal would be around about £3 million, which would set a new transfer record for Elfsborg. When Lagerbielke was contacted and interviewed, he said it would be a great honour to play for Celtic, that it is a dream of all players in Sweden to move on to a bigger league and to play in the Champions League. And so, assuming that the final negotiations between Celtic and Elfsborg are completed in the next few days, one would expect Lagerbielke to be signing for Celtic in the next few days, potentially the start of next week. At 23, he is a great prospect for the future, is taller than Celtic's other centre-backs, and so would be a good addition to the squad for the next few years. Celtic are also said to have contacted Volendam regarding Xavier Mbuyamba, who previously was on Celtic radar a couple of years ago, when he was leaving Barcelona to go to Chelsea, and then from Chelsea to Volendam. And so is a player that Celtic have been considering via scouting networks for a good 2 or 3 years, and so will be a player on which Celtic has a lot of information. That if Mbuyamba was signed, potentially for around about £2 million, this would bring Celtic's quota of centre-backs to 4, plus the additional young players, Welsh, Scales and Kobayashi. Brendan Rodgers has expressed that he feels important to have four first choice centre backs to provide cover for injuries and suspension and loss of form, and also to rest players in between big fixtures and European fixtures. And so signing Mbuyamba in addition to Lagerbielke would be an option Celtic might well consider. However, if that was the case, almost certainly this would mean players such as Scales, Welsh, and Kobayashi all moving on to other clubs. I have had a thorough look at various scouting sites on the internet to compare Mbuyamba and Lagerbielke, and the overall view of the scouts was that Lagerbielke was a slightly better player currently. He was rated as 7.5 out of 10, whilst Mbuyamba was at 6.6 out of 10. Both these players are seen as having great potential. Mbuyamba being a little bit younger than Lagerbielke, a little less experienced, not yet at international level, unlike Lagerbielke, and so Mbuyamba still has a year or two further to improve and gain experience. And both, on the basis of the scouting opinions, would be worthy of joining Celtic. Lagerbielke has all his ratings at 10 and above, with especially good levels for heading and for leadership, also passing and composure, and tackling. But all his ratings, other than agility, were good or very good. Mbuyamba also generally has all his ratings in the good range, with the special high levels for heading and for determination. And Mbuyamba also thought to have a little bit greater in terms of natural fitness, although both are not seen as being particularly injury prone. And the indications would be that Mbuyamba and Lagerbielke are both fine options within Celtic's transfer budget to supplement Carter Vickers and Navrocki. And I would fully expect Lagerbielke's signature to be completed in the next few days. The fate of Welsh and Kobayashi and Scales remains uncertain. It is likely for Welsh's improvement and career, it may well be a time for him to leave the club. There has been interest for Welsh coming from Italy, where quite a number of young Scottish players have moved on to, such as Ferguson and Doig and Hinckley. So moving to Italy may be on the cards for Welsh. Scales remains on Aberdeen's wish list, either again as a loan for one season, as was the case last year, or potentially a permanent transfer. And Yuki Kobayashi has a new agent, and this is thought to be a factor in likely plan to loan Kobayashi out for one season, preferably to a club in Scotland or England, to further his career and ease his settling down into Scotland. A loan back to Japan would be counterproductive, as it was with Ideguchi, who at the end of his loan moved back to Japan permanently. As Kobayashi is on a 5-year contract, I'm sure Celtic are going to do everything they can to ensure that his transfer to Celtic and career at Celtic is successful. I thank you for listening to my update today. I will be completing a further update later in the day, looking at a number of Celtic players potentially going out on loan, and also may have full confirmation of the Starfelt transfer to Celta Vigo. And so goodbye, and speak to you again later.